That's something I really try to make sure I handle correctly. What's up, guys? Working on doing some calls right now, and I just got this email that came through that made me laugh. It says, "Get rid of my phone number and email." I find that hilarious because this is someone who reached out to us for a quote, and then you know, didn't respond, didn't follow up, or wouldn't allow us to get any information from them. So I find it comical that they would be very frustrated that we followed up on their request for a quote. But gotta love it. That's part of the insurance game. Good morning, guys. It's Monday, December 9th. I don't know what I'm talking about. And it's been a busy morning already. First vlog just got posted, which is super exciting. I was super kind of anxious about doing this just because you kind of feel like you're putting yourself out there. And you're like, what if people, make fun of me or something like that? But then I just fall back on, I don't really care if people make fun of me, honestly. And two, I saw a reel this week on Instagram, which kind of spoke to me. And it said, who cares if you put bad content out? Because if it's bad content, social media is going to tell you and no one's going to see it. So if it's bad content and no one sees it, then it doesn't really matter, right? So no one may be watching this, and if that's the case, I'm doing it for documentation purposes, right? And I'm not doing it to try to get rich and famous or anything like that off of a vlog series. I'm already doing the work. I might as well document it and look back on it later. And so that's kind of where my mindset's at as I post that first vlog. But inevitably, you're like, I wonder how many views it's going to get. I wonder what people are saying. I wonder what people are watching it, those type of things. And so trying to just kind of fight against that temptation to constantly be refreshing and seeing if people are watching it. But we are having a busy day today. I have 39 task list items to do. I've already drank my first cup of coffee. I picked you guys up a little bit later than what I usually do just because of kind of getting caught up in the posting of that stuff. But luckily, I've got all that finished and kind of got my social media stuff done for the day. We're going to work on some service work, and then we have calls to knock out. This afternoon we have some quotes we got to do. I'm going to try to film a little bit more of like the actual quoting process, kind of what we do and how we process it. Give you guys a little bit more of a behind the scenes look there rather than just me talking. But we'll catch back up with you guys when we get done with all of our service work. I lied. I'm not going to catch up with you before we go out with service work. I was doing reading this morning, High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard, and there was a quote in here that I highlighted that I thought was super, super good. It's talking about how, you have to put in the work and you have to be willing to do that kind of hard stuff, right? And it says, when you knock on the door of opportunity, don't be surprised that work is who answers. And I think a lot of times, especially when I'm a natural dreamer, right? I have big dreams, and I think that I'm going to, meet those dreams. Sometimes you get to the opportunity and you're like, oh, this is going to be super fun. But then you're like, oh crap, I have a bunch of hard work I have to do on the other side of this. And so just a nice reminder that that's the process you're supposed to go through, right? Hard work is a good thing. Hard work teaches you a lot of stuff and makes what you're doing valuable. And I think that hard work also weeds out the people who don't really want it. And so I'm grateful for the hard work that I'm having to do to build this agency up to $300,000 in revenue. We've got a long way to go, but long way to go, but I'm excited for the path and the growth that it's going to take to get there. Hey Brian, this is Maverick Bison Insurance. Just giving you a call because your policy has been with us for a couple months or a couple weeks now, and I always like to do these welcome calls just to say everything's good on our end. Make sure you have our number saved in your phone and let us know if you need anything. I want to again thank you so much for allowing us to earn your business. And like I said, let us know if you need anything, and hope to hear from you soon. Thanks, buddy. So that was a call that we like to do to all of our new clients that come on board. It's actually kind of funny because it's supposed to be a office administrator that handles those calls. Obviously, as a one-man shop, we don't have an office administrator. And so I really try to make sure that all of our clients, regardless of what point we are at in our agency, has the same experience, right? Because when I do have an office administrator and I do have people working under me, I'm going to expect them to make those calls. And so I need to make sure that I make those calls. So yeah, it's a little awkward because that client just talked to me 3 weeks ago and then I'm calling back and saying, hey, this is a welcome call from the owner, and we would just want to say we appreciate your business and all of those type of things. But I think it speaks to the fact that that's what can separate us from like the big guys in the area. Those big State Farm agencies, those big captive agencies, is that we truly do try to make sure every one of our clients fully understand that they are more than just a policy number to us. Hey Carrie, it's Maverick. How are you? I'm doing good. I am just giving you a call because we like to do these calls after everything's kind of the dust has settled with the policy switch over and everything. Let you know that everything on our end is good to go. Policy documents are signed and everything. Also wanted to make sure you have our number and everything like that. Kind of just a welcome call to the agency. So just wanted to say thanks so much for allowing us to earn your business. I really appreciate it. The home insurance. Yeah, there's a potential we could do that. I could definitely quote the other home if that's something you're interested in me doing. Okay, awesome. Let me just verify the address with you. Could you tell it to me one more time? So that was another welcome call I just made with another client of ours. She switched over to us about a month or so ago, and those are why those client calls are important for me, because that's where we can maybe determine that there's more help we need to do for this client. So she, had some stuff happen and needs a home quote now. And so obviously we're glad to help her with that. Also always trying to make sure we get those Google reviews done then. I think those client calls are really important. So even if you are a smaller agency or a smaller business owner, make sure you're still treating every client like you would whenever you have that ideal role or that ideal position or ideal team built out under you. Because, like I said, whenever I do have a full team built out, we're going to be, making client calls and doing touches with our clients and making sure that they truly understand that they are the foundation of our business. And so I can't expect my future employees to do that. If whenever I was by myself, I wouldn't do it myself. And so those client calls are really important to me. And, they don't take a long time. We knock them out pretty quickly. But just another reason. That's another kind of way of cross-selling in the business. And so I think it's super important for all business owners to try to find something like that they can do throughout their business. Hey Sadie, this is Maverick Bison Insurance. Hey Deanna, this is Maverick Pitchford Bison Insurance. Hey Mackenzie, this is Maverick, the owner of Bison Insurance. Hey Sierra, this is Maverick Pitchford, the owner of Bison Insurance. If you could give me a call back at your earliest convenience, our number is 918-921-8725. I'd really appreciate it. Alrighty, that was about 20 or so calls. I will say that a lot of those are quotes we've never quoted. They go in there, or quotes never quoted pipeline, and so I kind of know that they're probably not going to answer, so I pound through them pretty quickly, not expecting too much. It only took me 10 or so, 15 minutes maybe to get about 30 calls done. So like I said, just leave voicemails, let them know that the owner of Bison Insurance is reaching out to them. Would love to work with them on a quote, and we just move on from there. I'm not gonna spend all day kind of waiting for their call back or anything like that. That's just part of one of our buckets that we use to pull in clients, right? We had some really successful giveaways at the beginning of our agency, and so those are usually recycling through. We get a couple every month. Recently it's been a little bit heavier than what is typical, but so on and so forth. We just keep on calling and going forward from there. Now I'm going to follow up on some quotes that I've already sent out. So these people who actually have talked to us, have gotten a quote from us, and we're trying to get those policies closed. I've got a couple that I need to call right now, and then we're going to do some client reach out, just kind of touch base with some of our existing clients, some of our higher value clients, and tell them we appreciate them and see if there's any referrals or anything that they may have for us. And then we're going to work on quotes this afternoon. But chugging along the rest of the day just like normal. It's 11 o'clock and I've already knocked out 37 of our 50 or so tasks that I had to do. So it's been a productive morning. Hey David, this is Maverick Bison Insurance. Just giving you a call up because I feel like we've been playing a bit of phone tag. I know you reached out once and wanted to get a quote. I'd sent over an email about what I needed to get that quote. I'm going to resend it as soon as I get off this phone call. But if you're not getting that email and you get this voicemail, please let me know. I really love to get you guys a quote sent over, but have to get some preliminary information to kind of get those quotes started. So hope to hear from you soon. If you need a callback number, my number is 918-921-8725, or feel free to text me or email me back at your earliest convenience. Thank you so much, sir. Oh, I'm really trying to get someone's not voicemail for you guys. I want to show you kind of what our process is like whenever we start to work through the quoting process, in a sense of like how we pertain or get information and all of those type of things. But just keep getting voicemails. So we will get one before the end of the day, I promise that, but not that phone call. Hey Connor, it's Maverick, Bison Insurance. I was giving you a call to kind of go over the quotes that I had sent you last week. I know you said you're waiting on a couple more, but I wanted to point a couple of things out on ours. And so if you could give me a call back at 918-921-8725, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, man. Another voicemail. Calling another lead. Hopefully we don't get voicemailed. Hey Jason, this is Maverick, Bison Insurance. Was just giving you a call about getting that quote started we had talked about last week. If you could give me a call back or respond to my text I'm about to send you, that'd be great. My number is 918-921-8725. Look forward to hearing from you. Thanks, man. Another stinking voicemail. So I just had a guy reach out to me via Facebook. That happens, about a couple times a week to get an insurance quote. But the number one thing that I always try to do whenever I get people that reach out to me on Facebook or social media or anything like that is I always try to get their phone number and email. For a lot of us, I think that that's common sense, right? But the reason I do that is because once I have their phone number and email, I'm able to put them in my CRM, and then I'm able to recycle them. So like I said earlier, I had a lady who reached out to me, asked for a quote, and then never gave us any information or anything like that. But I'm able to reach out to her at least, every 6 months to a year because I got that phone number and email from her. So that's just another way that we're always building up our database of trying to have people to quote. Just another way we're pouring into that bucket of getting people for their leads. Alrighty guys, headed to get lunch. It is right at noon, and so we've got a lot done this morning. Like I said, we accomplished a lot of calls. Granted, we got a lot of voicemails, but we did call the people, and if you don't call them, they can't answer. So we're gonna keep on doing that every day. But we are headed to get lunch for my wife and I. Gonna run it by her school. One thing I really am trying to focus on throughout the vlog series is I want to have like one pertaining topic to each video. I feel like that'll make it less random, kind of just letting the day happen, but have something towards that I want to kind of touch on for the week. For this week, I want to talk about kind of how we get leads, all of that lead generation, what our different sources are, all of those things. And so you've kind of seen one aspect already today, calling older leads that maybe entered giveaways or reached out to us a year ago and rates weren't right, or the market was too tight then, or whatever it is. Recycling those, that's one big way. Another one is networking, just kind of getting out in the community and saying, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, meeting with realtors and lenders, all of those type of things. Social media is a big part of it. We had a social media lead come in today, which is another huge part of our business. And then, we're going to keep on working that all week. Another fun thing that's going to happen this week that I'm super excited about is our website first draft is going to be finished. So crazy enough, we've actually made it 3 years, $100,000 in revenue, and not even created a website yet. I know, crazy, we should have had it a long time ago, but we are fixing that issue right now. And so I'll get to go over that hopefully by Friday. She said she should have the first draft done. I'm going to look at it with you guys and make some adjustments, or maybe it's perfect when she sends it, I don't know, but I'm super excited for that. But this afternoon we're going to knock out a couple quotes and then go to a junior high basketball game tonight. Awesome. No, that sounds great. Awesome. Okay. Well, before we get off here, I like to just quickly explain kind of what the next steps are going to look like for working with us, because we do things a little bit differently here. So I'm not sure how much you kind of know about Bison Insurance, but we are an independent broker located in Kuwait, Oklahoma. An independent broker means that we don't have a single carrier we work with. We actually partner with about 15 to 30 different carriers, depending on the line of business. And what we'll do is we'll gather up all the information you're going to send us through our link, and then we will shop it across all the markets. So we'll do a couple different things. We'll look at home and auto with the same carrier, home and auto with different carriers, separating them. Sometimes that's a better deal. So we'll do all that. And then I will actually plug all of that data into a quote comparison document. This is a document we've built out over the past 3 years or so. It takes it and makes it really easy for you to see side by side what each carrier is offering, right? Your current carrier versus what Bison Ridge Insurance is offering, or what our carrier is offering. You'll be able to see where the coverages are more with us, to where the coverages are less with us. You'll be able to see what endorsements we're adding that you don't currently have. You'll be able to see premium, and I'll break down the math on how much we're saving you versus how much more we are, if which way it goes. After that, I'm gonna actually videotape a video proposal for you. It'll be a quick 5-minute video that I'll text a link to you. That video proposal is kind of my way of sitting down at your kitchen table and just explaining the coverages to you. So we'll sit down and talk over those, and then after you watch that video, you can give me a call and we can make any changes that you want to have or answer any questions that you have. I will let you know, we kind of just quote a systemized policy quote, meaning that we kind of quote every home and hollow policy the exact same way, and then we will make changes as need be, because it's a lot easier to do it that way rather than just throw a bunch of random stuff at a wall and hope it sticks. So but yeah, I just wanted to explain that to you because it is a little bit of a different approach than what most people deal with when they come to shopping insurance, because of the fact that we are very, very transparent on what we're doing. And so I like to set the precedent up front and then just explain the process throughout. So hopefully that's helpful. Okay, awesome. Yeah, no, we'll talk in the next couple days. Awesome, thanks, bye. So I just wanted to call and let you know, I have looked at the numbers, and we're really close on rates for your auto. A little bit more a month than what you're currently paying. However, I don't go as low in coverage as what you currently have. And so if you're looking at, not increasing your coverage or anything like that, I would definitely recommend staying where you're at for right now. I recommend carrying 100, 300, 100 on liability limits, just because of the fact of how much payouts are typically when there's a claim. But if you're comfortable keeping those lower limits, then I completely understand. I'm not the type of guy to try to push you into something that you don't want, obviously. So I just wanted to be transparent with you up front and explain kind of where we're at. So we are close on numbers, but like I said, the coverage is going to be almost double what you currently have. So you're paying like $140 a month right now. Does that sound about right? $160? Okay, so then it's even closer. So my rates are $180 a month. But like I said, you'd be bumping up to 100, 300, 100 in liability limits. The reason I recommend those limits is because in the state of Oklahoma, which obviously I know you're overseas right now, but in the state of Oklahoma where your car is, the average liability claim that comes out if there was a claim and you went through the court system is about $75,000, and you only have $50,000 in coverage limits right now. And so obviously the math doesn't make sense there for what the average payout is. And then on the property damage side of things, this one's pretty self-explanatory once you explain it to people. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, I don't ever want to be the type that's going to press you into something that's not best for you. We are offering more coverage, but the price is a little bit more. You kind of have to pay to play type of thing with the coverages. So if that's something you're interested in, I can pursue it and send you over a full quote and kind of explain the coverages a little bit more in depth. If you're like, hey man, right now it's just not a good time, I completely understand, and I'll just recycle back in a few months and see if you're ready then. Yeah, the renters, I did auto and renters, and the renters is almost exactly the same. I don't have it pulled up in front of me. It might have been actually a little bit cheaper, but renters is usually pretty cut and dry. And so, like I said, we have good numbers, but I know you're kind of doing, stuff overseas right now, and so it makes things a little bit more difficult. So, when are you planning on coming? I mean, obviously, I'm sure you're planning on coming back. When are you planning on coming back? Oh, okay. What I can do is I can just push you out a couple months and recycle back and say, hey man, would you really like a quote then? And we can kind of go from there, okay? Awesome, buddy. Talk to you soon. So that's a prime example of how I typically handle quotes that are maybe a little bit more, but we're explaining the coverages. He was a little bit of a different situation. He's actually on a mission trip right now overseas, and so it makes things a little bit more difficult in a sense of, it's hard to switch when you're, over in the Middle East. And so I think he probably would have switched if he was here because he was interested in the more coverage. I just blatantly explained it to him like, hey, this is what the coverage is. This is what you currently have. We don't sell under 100, 300, 100 on liability limits. You currently have under that. And so if you're wanting to work with us, that's kind of the ticket to enter the agency, and then kind of just leave it at that. I'm not ever going to be the type of guy that's going to push someone into something that they don't want. So I just offer it and then let them kind of decide. Alrighty, that is my day at the office. Got a lot done today. We were able to complete some service tasks this morning. Got 3 or 4 quotes sent out this afternoon and had a couple new leads come in. I wanted to do a little bit more outbound lead generation, just reaching out to some people that I knew would be interested, but didn't get the time to. So it's okay. I'm going to pack my bag up and go pick up the little guy. I'd take him home and probably set up my laptop and get a little bit more stuff done before we go to the junior high game tonight. But thanks for following along today. Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday morning, 8:50. I'm actually sitting here, just pulled up at the office, beating myself up a little bit because I didn't have a great start to the morning. We were running behind. The whole family was. Got the little guy to school late, getting to the office late, all of those type of things. And it's really easy to fall into an area of starting to beat yourself up over that. I always think back to if I would have went to bed the night before earlier, if I would have planned last night rather than this morning, all of those things, got up earlier. So only can go up from here. I hope I don't have a cut back to me saying that later today, that the days went bad and I say it could only get worse or only get better from here. But we're going to go in and start just kind of working through the day. I don't recall there being a lot of service work unless anything came in last night while we were closed. So that should be a pretty quick run through of service work. Calls wise, you never really know what's going to come through on the system. I do have some newer leads that have reached out for quotes that I need to reach out to. Some of them I reached out to yesterday that I may just text today and say, hey, looking to see if you're still interested, those type of things. But other than that, we're going to try to bang out at least 4 quotes today, 4 or 5 quotes today, get those sent out to clients, and then have a podcast that popped up yesterday, so I need to do a little bit of prep for that tomorrow as well. So hopefully still to have a productive day. We're still getting in the office before 9 a.m., which is always the time that we open. So I guess we're not technically behind, but in my mind we are, because I like to be here a little early. So but we'll get after it today and let you guys know how it goes. Alrighty, guys, we are about to knock out our calls for the day. We only have 5, so it won't take us very long. Hopefully we don't get 5 voicemails like we did yesterday, but we're hoping for the best. Hey Connor, it's Maverick Pitchford, Bison Insurance, just giving you a call about the quote I'd sent over. Let me know when you have a second to look over it. Maybe we can get on call and explain some things to you. Hope to hear from you soon, man. My number is 918-921-8725. 1 call down, 1 voicemail. Hey David, Maverick again with Bison Ridge Insurance. Just touching base with you because I haven't heard back from you via my reach outs on text or email. So if you have a second, I'd love to work up that quote for you. So if you could give me a call back at 918-921-8725, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, sir. All right, so that is all of the calls for today. Like I said, not many. That last call is a guy who reached out to us and we were out of the office at the time. I was at a meeting, and so told him I would email him a list of information I needed for a quote because he wanted to kind of do it that way rather than our Canopy Connect link or our quote comparison link. However, since then I've not been able to get him to respond or anything like that. That happens a lot of times where people, want an insurance quote and they just get busy and they're, not thinking about it. So I just stay on top of it. I'll probably give him another week of calls, just periodically throughout the next week, calling him, and then I'll put him in our system as a recycled lead. I can't call him, every day for the rest of my life just because I have to move on. But that's what we'll do with that guy. And then we'll just hope that when he recycles back through our system in 6 months, at that time he's ready to get a quote. Hey Austin, it's Maverick. How's it going, buddy? Pretty good. Did I catch you at a good time? Okay, awesome, man. It'll be super quick. I was looking through the information you sent me. I like to always just call and verify, make sure everything pulled through correctly. Okay. Do you have renters insurance currently? On the cars that came through, it looks like a 2015 Hyundai. Is that correct? Hatchback. I'll kind of explain our process. So, and I know we talked about it a little bit at baseball practice, but I'm an independent broker, so I don't work with a single company. So what I'll do is I'll actually shop your rates around about 30 different times with 30 different carriers. We'll look at each one and see, some have more benefits than others, some have cheaper prices, and I'll send you over the best quote possible. What I usually do is I'll compare it versus your current coverage and premium, just so you can see hey, this is what we're currently looking at, this is what Maverick would be offering us. However, with your premium only having the 2 vehicles on there, we'll still compare it because there's a chance we may be cheaper than even what your 2 cars are with 3. But I like to always give that caveat that obviously we're not comparing apples to apples there, which I know you'll understand that. But awesome, man. So give me a couple days and I'll get something sent over, and then we'll get something worked out for you, okay? So that was a call with the guy that I've been playing phone tag with for the past couple weeks. He had reached out before Thanksgiving asking for a quote and wanted to email us the information and just never heard back from him. Finally heard back from him today, and he's an older gentleman, so that's typically how it works with them. They don't want to do it our normal way. We are a really tech-driven agency, but that being said, I have to be willing to meet the clients where they want to be met, right? And so that's something I really try to make sure I handle correctly. So that means if I'm working with an older individual who doesn't feel comfortable using our online quote comparison or anything like that, then I need to take the time and have a 15-minute conversation with them and jot down all of the information. Just because they don't want to do it my way does not mean that I don't want to work with him. He's probably looking at his preliminary information, going to be a great client, great candidate for some of our carriers. And so just have to be willing to meet the clients where they want to be met. I think that's really big in any business, but especially insurance, because of the fact that insurance is, 1, boring, and 2, extremely daunting. A lot of people would rather just leave their information with the carrier they're at currently and just pay the higher rates rather than trying to make the switch because it's too difficult or they just don't want to deal with it. So I try to make it as painless as possible. So I try to do that on all fronts, right? I try to do that with technology for the younger individuals or the people who are willing to use that stuff. And then also try to be willing to meet the client, go to their house and obtain policy documents, talk to them over the phone, those type of things. It's not a big deal, but it's definitely something that I think a lot of agencies probably don't do. And I can see how, because you fall set in your ways, right? You fall into, hey, this is how we do things here, and this is what we're going to do, and I just don't ever want to be like that. I want to make sure we're always just meeting the clients where they want to be met. Hey Ben, wanted to jump on here real quick and send over this quick video proposal for you. This video is going to go over the document that's attached to your email. This document is our quote comparison document. We're improving your personal property as well. We're improving medical payments. So this 6 coverage area right here above endorsements, that's the foundation for every home policy in the state of Oklahoma. This is what every single home policy is going to have at some sort of these 6 coverages. The cool thing about working with Bison Ridge Insurance is that we are still small, and so every time you call in, you're going to talk to me. We are very much in the mindset of you're more than just a policy number here. So that means that every time you call in, you're going to talk to someone who knows you, who's worked on your policy before. And as we continue to grow, that'll be the same thing because I'll make sure all of my team handles the same way, right? But I'd really love to hear from you, and I hope to have you as a client soon. Thanks so much. And that's how you shoot a quote comparison document video. As you saw in that last video, I just shot a quote comparison document for a inbound lead that we had come in. He's looking for a quote on his home and auto insurance. We're actually a little bit more expensive, but we are improving his coverage, so there's a good chance that we might be able to still make that sell. But it's one of those things that we just do our process and then let the policy kind of speak for itself. I'm not someone who's going to push super hard to try to force a policy on someone. So I explain the differences, I explain the coverage benefits and added endorsements that he's going to be getting, and then we'll see what happens. One thing that I wanted to mention that I'm really, really, really trying to work on for these quote comparison documents, which I didn't do it in this one, is making sure I give them kind of the next steps, right? I usually text this, but I want to say it in the video as well, like, hey, just so you know, to follow up with this, if you want to make this policy active, or if you want to get this policy taken care of, all you have to do is we have to get your routing and account number for auto policy, we have to verify your mortgage for home insurance, and then we have to, or for mortgage billing, and then we have to get you to sign a couple documents. So 3 steps, and we make it super simple because I think a lot of times people will they'll not want to make a switch on their auto and home insurance just because of the fact that they're afraid that it's going to be really, really difficult. And we've really fine-tuned the process to make it not hard at all. But the clients aren't going to know that unless I speak that or voice that to them. So something I'm really trying to work on with my quote comparison is making sure I let them know what the next steps are, because if you don't let them know, then how are they going to make those next steps? So always something to improve on, that's for sure. Alrighty, that's a wrap for me today. It is 3 o'clock. I gotta go pick the little guy up from school, but got a lot done today. We were able to send out some quotes and get a lot of calls done. Got some people on the phone that we've been looking for the last couple of weeks, which is always a really big deal because no one likes playing phone tag. But tomorrow in the video, I want to kind of explain to you guys how I started out getting leads at the very beginning of the business. I'm going to kind of go back and do that with a couple people. It's a process that I kind of mastered over the last, 24 months. I don't really do it anymore. So the first 24 months of the business was really how I was driving a lot of business, how we got to the $100,000 revenue mark. And so, we'll talk about that. And then also later in the week, I've got my first draft back from the website. And so I'm really excited to kind of get to go over that with you guys. I already kind of, like I said, and saw a couple things I want to tweak, but I'm going to look at it in super detail. I'm trying to include that on some of the vlog and then see what you guys think as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, trying to get better at keeping the topics kind of consistent throughout the week. I'm trying to figure out a way to actively show you how I quote. It's kind of hard because it's all computer based, right? So that's why it's a lot of calls and stuff that's in the vlog. But we'll keep fine tuning this just like we do everything else. And thank you guys so much for following along. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Mav_Bison Ridge Insurance or Bison Ridge on YouTube. All socials, you can find me at that. Hope for you guys to follow along. What's up, guys? Good morning. It is Wednesday, December 11th at 9:21 a.m. I am already in the office working, been in here working for about an hour, and I had to kind of not pick you guys up as early as I normally do because we have a podcast coming up and have lunches today at the school, and so have to kind of get some things done that need to be done first. So we are about to jump on a podcast with my buddy Ben Noble. We'll get on there and do the Green Country Conversations podcast, and then I'll have a couple minutes between that ending and lunch starting. And so what I'm going to do is try to talk to you guys and explain how we've kind of started getting leads when we first opened the business, and then we will catch you guys up on some quotes this afternoon. So follow along. Welcome to Green Country Conversations, the podcast where we hear the stories and learn about the people that make Northeast Oklahoma truly special. I'm your host, Maverick Pitchford, owner of Bison Ridge Insurance. All right, guys, I am going to kind of walk you through how in the first couple years of Bison Ridge Insurance, I really was able to drown out business. When I started this business 3 years ago, there was 0 clients, 0 policies, all of those things. And so I sat down and I was like, what tools do I have in my ability that I could possibly create business with? And the first thing that came to mind was I have a good following on Facebook. Maybe I can use that. So I kind of created a system that was able to, in at least the first year and a half or so, completely carry the business. We've kind of waned away from it a little bit just because of the more you get out there, the more people know you do insurance, the more people you're in business, they start to just kind of reach out to you in a sense. But I really, don't do this anymore, but I just wanted to show you. So in the first 2 years of the business, we used Facebook as still probably our driving factor of creating business. However, it's just a different aspect now. It's not so much me reaching out to people, it's people reaching out to us. But in the first few years, it was me solely reaching out to people. So I created an Excel sheet that had all of my Facebook friends on it. I was able to go through and each day, I can't remember exactly the number, but let's say 20 people a day. And I had a formula that I used, a template that I used that I sent out. And was my hit rate 100%? No. But if I sent 20 out every day, I probably got 2 or 3 leads a day. And so that's really how I kind of drowned out business, right? Just staying consistent with reaching out to people. It's super easy to do. You just message people on Facebook and say, hey, this is, Maverick, I've started a business and would love to earn your opportunity at your insurance. And the cool thing for that is a lot of those people who, let's say, didn't respond in the first time I reached out to them, now I'll get messages 2 years later, hey, are you still, can I get a quote from you with Bison Ridge Insurance? And I go back and look, and there's a message from 2021 where they didn't respond, didn't act like they even opened it. And so it's kind of cool to see those are coming back around. So right now I'm going to jump into my computer here and drum up a couple. I have a list of people in my mind that I've seen, commenting on our Facebook and stuff recently that, may be interested. So I'm going to do a little bit of outbound calling on that sense. And it's not truly calling, obviously, but it just is a different way to kind of fill that leads bucket every single day, right? I'm always trying to bring in some leads every single day so that when I run out quotes, I still have people to replace those with new leads. I'll approach it differently with different people. If it's someone I know really well, I'll send them a video. Hey man, this is Maverick. Know we've talked about it before, but wanted to see if I could get you an insurance quote. If it's someone who maybe is just a Facebook friend I don't personally know, I won't send him a video. I'll send him a message. It just kind of varies on where we're at in the day. But when I was doing it 2 years ago, it was solely messages. I didn't really send any video because I wasn't super comfortable with being in front of a camera. I'm still working on that to a extent, but especially the first year, it was so embarrassing to even think about being on a camera. So, alrighty, guys, I went back into my system here and found our old text templates that we used to use back in the early years of Bison Ridge Insurance, and it's kind of going down the nostalgic lane here, memory lane, looking at these. So I had different approaches for different people. Hey, this is so. Originally, I had owned a farmer's agency before I opened this independent agency. So if I had messaged them before, let's say when I owned a farmer's agency and they hadn't responded, or maybe they said there at the time they weren't interested, I would hit them with a template that I built out. Hey, I know we reached out a little over a year ago. I touched base again. Last time I reached out to you, I was with farmers, but since I've left farmers, I opened Bison Ridge Insurance. Blah blah blah. You kind of get the gist. And then whenever there were people maybe who I hadn't reached out to, that maybe people who were new Facebook friends I just didn't get around to when I was at farmers, I would hit them with hey, I'm not sure if you've seen it on social media or not, but I've been selling insurance quote for a couple of years now. I own Bison Ridge Insurance, independent brokerage located in Coweta. We work with 25 different insurance companies. I wanted to see if I could set up a time with you to talk about an insurance quote. It never hurts to get a quote. Make sure you're getting the best rates on the market. It takes less than 10 minutes for me to gather up all the information I need to get a quote started. And now, like I said, I did not have 100% batting rate on this, right? I didn't hit every single one of them, but I would do these every single day without a doubt. This was the first thing I did, and then I would follow up. Hey, if I wanted to see if you had a message, if you seen my message a couple of days ago, this was usually 2 days later. I wanted to see if I don't want to leave any stones unturned. I wanted to follow up again with you. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. And the reason I did this and the reason I was able to do this is because when I first started, like I said, I had no business in the book. I had no leads coming in, nothing like that. It's not like you open an insurance agency and day one people start calling, right? And so I had to find a way to be able to drum up business, and this is the way I did it. If they said no, not right now, I had a template for that. If I know I needed to get their information, I had a list for that. So it was really just trying to systemize it in the early days in a sense of I don't have a system that's doing automation for me. What can I do to make this easy? And that's exactly what I did. Hey Connor, what's up, man? Just wanted to send over a quick video to you and just ask, well, first of all, say congratulations on the new baby. Also wanted to just see if I could run a quote for you guys on your home and auto insurance. I know we had talked about it in the past and didn't work out at that time, and so thought I'd shoot you a message. But like I said, congrats on the baby, and just wanted to see if that'd be something you're interested in. I can get it done basically without a phone call if that's something you're interested in. We can do it all over text, get the information sent, and then have a quote sent to you. I own independent brokers, so that means I can shop your rates with about 30 different carriers, and I thought that might be something you'd be interested in. So let me know, man. Thanks. So that's how I would do a video proposal or a video request over Facebook Messenger. I just went ahead and sent that over to him. He's someone who I went to high school with, and I had reached out to him in the past, didn't get a response, and so saw I posted something on Facebook and thought this might be a good time to ask him for a quote. So I sent that over, and we will see what he says. Alrighty, guys, we are headed over to the church. I'm going to jump in the car with Josh, our youth pastor, and head over to the schools. I do this every Wednesday because of the fact that we want to be able to get in front of our youth students and just tell them, hey, we care about you. We'd love to see you at church tonight, those type of things. I was kind of thinking about why I do this outside of the business, right? And like I talked about in last week's vlog, it's about growing a legacy. And for me, growing a legacy is being a pillar of the community in a sense of not just a big business, right, that brings in a lot of revenue, but I want to be a pillar in the community that builds up the community. And I think this is one of the ways we do that is, letting the students know that we care about them, letting them know that, we're here for you if you need us, those type of things. And I think that doing these little acts are really, really important. And I think that translates to business as well, right? Showing your clients that you care outside of just an insurance policy is a really big thing for me. I've said it a couple times. I want my clients to understand that they're more than just a policy number to us, right? Because I think a lot of times what happens is you work with a big insurance agency, a big carrier like a captive carrier or something like that, and you get into the mindset of, oh, these people don't know who I am. And for me, being in Coweta, living in Coweta, going to church in Coweta, raising my family in Coweta, those type of things, this truly is something that is going to be really impactful for a long time. And so I always love this part of the day because of the fact that it is really enjoyable for me to get to go to the schools and see our students. Yeah, it breaks up my day. Yeah, it takes up time. But whenever you're trying to create a legacy, sometimes you have to do things that are going to break up your normal revenue driving focus of the day. So this is a small thing we do every week, and I'm really grateful to get to do it. Alrighty guys, that is a wrap for me today. Let me get this camera adjusted down here a little bit. So that's a wrap for me today. We are, oh my goodness, knocked over my whole table. If that doesn't sum up the whole day, I don't know what does. It's been kind of a crapshoot of a day, just because didn't get a crazy amount done, and I always go home kind of almost feeling worthless when I'm not very productive at the office. And so we just have to focus up and do better tomorrow. I have a lot I have to get done. I need to get about 7 or 8 quotes sent out the door before tomorrow afternoon. Just kind of with the holiday coming up and stuff, I want to get a lot processed. So I'm going to try to do that tomorrow. Shouldn't have too many calls to go on, so I should be able to get those pumped out pretty easily. And then tonight we have church, which is always an exciting day for me, just because of the fact that we get to go and kind of hang out with the kids and get to spend some time just doing some fun stuff that you get to connect with. That's always super fun. So I might try to get some videos while we're there. But I know this video is probably hit or miss a little bit on what we're doing, but trying to keep that main focus of the client, how we're getting clients, right? So the other day we kind of talked about on, I think Monday, we talked about how in our system we use recycled leads. That's one of our kind of buckets we use to get business in the door. Secondly, we do Facebook, obviously short form videos. I'll have the editor have Alex put the short form video in here so that you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about when I say we're doing short form videos on social media. Those drum up a lot of business, just staying in front of people. And then I reverted back to some of our older tactics on how we drove in business in the first couple of years of our business. I was able to kind of take it back and show how we would use the videos and the Facebook Messenger, those type of things. And so right now we are going to go home. I'm going to do a networking event Friday and show you guys that and be able to show you, hey, this is another bucket we use to kind of pull into our leads. That's one of our other ways of generating business for Bison Ridge. And so I think those 3 things will be helpful for people to see, and I think it'll be cool for me to look back on in the future and be able to say, hey, this is what we did back then, and whenever this guy's big, I'll be able to show him what it was like when Bison Ridge first started, and be able to kind of explain to him where the business was and where we're going, and him be able to understand all that. So that's the whole reason I'm doing this. So regardless if anyone watches this or not, I think this will be fun for us to kind of look back on as a video journal of the business as it continues to grow. So that's the end of the video for today. Unless I get any clips from tonight at church, we will see you guys Thursday here back at the office. What's up, guys? It is Thursday morning. I'm actually driving down the highway headed to a doctor's office. I've got a doctor's appointment, just a general checkup that I've got going on. But I wanted to kind of catch you guys up because today's going to be structured a little bit differently than normal. I am going to the doctor, and then this afternoon I'm going to try to get back to the office and get a couple things done. But Lauren, my beautiful wife, she needs me to go to Sam's with her because she is director of the school dance at her school, and so she needs my big strong muscles to help move the box of chips. At least that's what she tells me. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but regardless, I'm gonna go spend some time with her and do that, and then I'm actually going to work this afternoon. So kids will come home and I won't go home with them. I'll go back to the office and knock out some quotes. I was recently watching Roman Atwood. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. I absolutely love him, and he was talking about how, almost missed my turn. He was talking, he started a new vlog series about a year ago, 7 months ago or so, just about doing daily vlogs pertaining around businesses. And he was talking about how he wishes people understood how long it takes to reach the success that you're looking for. He talked about how he worked in a rope factory for 9 years, basically from 18 to my age now to 28. And then he finally got into YouTube, and then the next 10 years is when his career really exploded. He's someone that I've always watched, even when I was younger. I remember watching his prank videos, all of those things. And so it's kind of cool that he's started a vlog series now. And obviously I started this. And so it's kind of cool to be able to compare what he's doing versus what I'm doing. The really cool thing about his new vlog series is he's taking businesses that are ordinary businesses and vlogging their everyday experiences, and he's really good at making the boring interesting, which is something I'm trying to master with this vlog series, right? You know, I know that ultimately this is just for me and for my family to look back on. In the meantime, if I can hone up a skill and, you know, figure out how to make running an insurance agency interesting, I think that's a good skill to have. And so as I pull into the doctor's office here, I just want to give you guys an encouragement as someone who has taken that leap of faith and started a business and is, you know, actively trying to create the dreams that, you know, I want to have come true. Just do it. I know it's scary, and I know it can be complicated. You know, maybe in your situation, you're not able to just close down whatever you're doing and start a brand new business like I did, or maybe you don't know what you want to do. Just try different things and start them as a side hustle, and then figure out what works, and then, you know, dive more into it. But regardless, whatever it is, we have a long period of time, especially if you're, you know, in your 20s or 30s, to make success. And but that being said, you'll never have the success that you're looking for if you don't ever take that first step. So if you made it to Thursday of this vlog, I wanted to give you a little bit of encouragement this morning. We will pick you back up when I'm at the office after my doctor's appointment. All right, guys, we are at Sam's running errands for my wife's dance. Another amazing perk of owning my own business. However, I have to go back and work this afternoon, like I said, so that's the downside to it. But you got to give and you got to get. So I have never had my beautiful wife on the vlog before. Lauren, say hi. So she is judgy and likes to make fun of me all the time. As we pulled into the parking lot, she said, "Oh, my little vlogger." So, Lauren, I want to ask you, what do you think about me using content to document the journey? What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I'm proud of him, and I love seeing his accomplishments, and I'm glad that our kids are going to get to see it. I'm glad all my students get to watch it and see what happens. So yeah, I think it's awesome.
It's the first nice thing she said to me all day.
He's my little blogger.
It's the first nice thing she said. She really wants to start a podcast together, so maybe we'll do that someday. I don't know. What's up, guys? It is about 7 o'clock here on Thursday evening, and I am headed back to the office for a night shift. I have not done one of these night shifts in a while. When we first opened, I did them a lot because I was not very productive during the day, just efficiency wise and trying to figure out the right things to focus on. So I haven't done one of these probably in a year or so, but I had run some errands after we got the kids home, and I was able to hang out with them for an hour or so, and now they're all getting ready to go to bed. So I came back up here because of the crazy day that we had. I had to get back up here to try to knock out some quotes. So I'm going to do that now, work on some quotes. I'll let you guys know if there's anything interesting that happens. And then we're going to try to send out 7 or so quotes tonight. And then hopefully tomorrow get some answers back on them. So we'll let you guys know if anything cool happens. Alrighty, 10:30, I am wrapping up. I got a couple quotes done. I have a few more I need to finish up tomorrow if I have time. Friday is usually my content day, like I said. And so I'm going to start kind of getting ideas for that tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a lot of looking over the website. I haven't gone over that with you guys yet. I have a call around 10 o'clock with a networking group that I'm thinking about joining, and so that'll be interesting too. That is something that I want to dive in more to. We've done a lot of networking to drive in leads, but it's been more so just me reaching out to people. This is actually an organized group, and so I'm curious to see how that goes. Got to figure out the price and kind of what the commitments are and those type of things to see if it's worth it for me. But definitely something I'm interested in. So wrapping up tonight. It was a late night here, obviously, because I wasn't in the office all day, but got a lot done. We will hit it back in the morning. Thank you guys for watching. I know that there probably wasn't a lot of interesting stuff that happened today in the video, and so try to get some better clips tomorrow. What's up, guys? Friday morning, about 9 o'clock, I'm headed over to a coffee shop. Wanted to jump on here and talk to you guys before I got there because I don't know how comfortable I'll be pulling out a camera and talking there at the coffee shop. I'm not fully mastered the skill of not feeling embarrassed of talking to a camera in front of people yet. It's sure something I'll get better at, but as of now, not super comfortable with it. But I wanted to jump on here and have a conversation with you guys about the just the business in general. So it's been kind of a slow week at Bison Ridge. I've sent out a lot of quotes, but not got a lot of responses. And I'm talking up front with you. I'm throwing myself a bit of a pity party right now. I'm giving myself the next 5 or so minutes to kind of wallow in my sorrows, and then we'll get out of the car and walk into the coffee shop, and that'll be over with, and we'll move on to the next thing. So I think you should be allowed to feel all of your feelings whenever you're running a business, and not always talk about the highs, but also talk about the lows. And so if I'm truly doing this vlog series for myself and not truly for anyone else, then I should, feel 100% comfortable talking about everything. And so, like I said, this week has been kind of a low week at Bison Ridge in the sense of not a lot of policies sold. Actually, no policies sold this week, which is never a great thing. We sent out quotes and we were active, but it was, just one of those things that we didn't get a bunch of policies bound, which is okay, but still kind of beats on you. And then I had a couple cancellations come in the past couple of days. We're still at the point revenue-wise that cancellations, even on a small scale, still hurt. No, they're not going to tank the business, and no, we're not going to go under because one policy canceled. But it is still frustrating, especially whenever you have the ability to shop rates and you do everything in your power to reach out to the clients, send out letters, send out emails and texts and say, hey, your renewal's coming up, we want to shop your rates, and get no responses. And then you get a text or an email or a phone call that says, hey, we want to cancel our policy, we shopped our rates and found a better rate. And you're just like, man, that really sucks. And so, like I said, I wanted to get on here and kind of just have a transparent and truthful conversation with you guys about how, being a business owner is really tough. And I know that there's going to be some point where probably, we get to a point revenue-wise where cancellations are, not even a second thought. We're writing so much business that you're constantly replacing anything that cancels. But that's not the case right now. We're still at a point where cancellations are still really a big downer for the business. They really are frustrating, especially, like I said, whenever it's something you can sell. So right now I'm just kind of, wallowing in my sorrows for a couple minutes, and then I'll get out of here and I'll be good to go. But just kind of a frustrating experience. And like I said, I think a lot of times on social media and on vlogs and podcasts and everything, business owners are very keen to always talking about the highlights, and so I always want to be transparent regardless if anyone sees this portion of the video or not. I want to always make sure I'm explaining to the viewer, or even to myself when I come back, that remember what it was like whenever it was hard, because there are hard weeks, but I think the hard weeks make you stronger and make you appreciate the good weeks a lot more. So there's going to be weeks where you bring in $10,000 or months where you bring in $10,000 in revenue, and then there's going to be months where you bring in $4,000 or $5,000 in new business revenue, and so it's tough, but just got to keep on pushing forward. Alrighty guys, I'm over my little pity party I threw. I'm here at the coffee shop. I'm actually trying a new coffee shop. It's called Pony Coffee. It's located on South Main in Tulsa. I'll let you guys know how it looks and how it tastes. It looks super crowded, so I don't know how many videos I'll take inside of here, just because, like I said, extremely embarrassed to talk in front of the camera in front of people, but we will see how that goes when I get inside. All right, guys, today was crazy, crazy busy, crazy, just a lot kind of going on, jumping all around, so it's kind of hard to keep up with. I don't even know, honestly, where I left off with the vlog. Obviously went and got coffee, great. I enjoyed the coffee shop. It was crowded, so I didn't stay or anything. It was a cool vibe, though. Got on a call for BNI, a networking group that has branches or clubs or groups all around the country, and was on there for about an hour listening to the guys kind of talk about what it's like, kind of what the experience is. And I'll be honest with you, I have considered BNI. I've been in business 3 years. Probably once a year I consider going and joining one of their clubs or one of their referral groups. The one issue I have is through the last 3 years, I've done a lot of just networking in general, reaching out to people that I think I would want to work with and that type of stuff, grabbing coffees with them and having referrals set up that way. And I've done really good at it. And I jumped on this BNI call, and I know I know I'm probably kind of jaded here just because I've already kind of decided I didn't want to do it, but I jumped on this BNI call and, was able to kind of hear their spill, and it sounds really good. It's a startup group, which I don't know if I want to invest my time on building a group, and there's nothing against the group. It's just as a agency owner, as a one-man shop, I really got to make sure I'm managing what I say yes to, and I just don't know if that's enough value for me to say yes to at the beginning. Now, if it was an established group, that'd be a completely different story. But the other kind of thing that I thought kind of turned me off from it was there was 9 people on the call and 5 of them were insurance agents. And I understand that they're going to have different seats for different agents, for different people, those type of things. There's going to be a commercial agent and a life agent and a health agent. But there's just no way that I can be convinced that if I get the personal lines policy or I get the personal lines spot for home and auto, and then there's a State Farm producer that's the commercial guy, and the commercial guy's getting a lead, he's not going to not sell the home and auto policy. At least if he's a good agent, he's not going to, because that's what I would do, right? I mean, I only sell personal lines, but I can guarantee if I was in the commercial game and I got a personal lead from one of these groups, I'd be trying to sell their commercial policy. It's just, that's how the game works. And so if I'm paying, if I have to pay to be part of this group and I am still competing with other agents, there's no reason for me to do the group, right? I might as well just go ahead and have coffee with lenders and realtors and roofers and inspection and people, all that stuff that I've already been doing for the past 3 years. And so that's kind of where my mind is at. I'm out of the funk I had earlier. I threw my pity party. I got over it. It's part of the business, right? Losing policies sucks. It's always going to suck, but it's one of those things that you just kind of got to move on with. So, we're going to close out the video here. I probably didn't do a great job at explaining how I get leads, but my main three sources of getting leads is having data in my system over the years and never letting a lead leave my system. So those are recycling through my system. Social media networking, social media content, that's our biggest driving factor right now. And then third, I do a lot of networking. I've kind of fallen off that boat, but in 2025, I'm going to pick back up. So in the vlog, you guys will get to come along to my networking meetings that I set up, and I'll kind of explain how I go about that. That's the end of this vlog. If you guys haven't followed along or subscribed yet, please do so. The YouTube is, getting a lot. We got a good amount of followers last week. The first video did pretty good, and so I would love for you to join up, but it's okay if not. I'm doing this to document for me and not for anyone else. That's what I keep telling myself, because I know eventually there's going to be videos that don't get 100 views and stuff like that. So it's inevitable. So I need to keep doing it for me and not for anyone else. So but I would love for you guys to subscribe, follow along, and hit that notification bell. Isn't that what all the YouTubers say, I think? So I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.